Morning, YouTube. It's been a couple weeks since we was able to make, or since I was able to make a video. Uh, Had a lot going on, bunch of calls, bunch of stuff. Just trying to get the house started, our basement started. Uh, you know, between permits and materials and all that good stuff. Just a lot going on, but figured I'd show you guys what's got done to this point so far, and then why the videos are going to be a little farther spaced out. I'm really wanting to get back to the milling, but priorities, these things first at the moment, and then we'll be doing a lot of milling when the time comes. I did get my sawmill pretty well sawing really good. Last time we sawed up a bunch of just old junk pine that normally wouldn't saw real good. Sawed great. I got a new sharpener, some things like that. So what I got was an Atlas sharpener. Thing's really nice. What I've used of it so far, done some adjusting. We got some concrete poured up that way when we poured the footing, and that way I can stack some block up there and actually tie that mill down a little harder to actually some concrete. So yeah, but just want to show you guys what I got going on so far. So yeah, we got one full complete row all the way around. We had a rain come in. I got it stacked full of block in here. I got some more block back over there. Total of about 1,600 12-inch heavyweight block. A lot of people don't like to lay the heavyweights, but they're a lot cheaper, and since me and my dad's doing it ourselves, I've not laid a lot of blocks, so this is a new experience for me. Just learning. He's laid a lot of these heavyweights. They're just slower. They're extremely slow, and you want to get your mud mixed just right, because the heavies, it'll drop them plumb out of sight. These things weigh, I think, like 55 pounds a piece is what we weighed them at. 54, 55, something like that. So man, it's a lot of weight if your mud's not too thin. Or if your mud is too thin, I should say. But anyway, it's a learning experience for me. We're starting, Dad already had started while I was at work on the second row. Got the corners and stuff. We're doing the 12-inch block on the sides and the back. And then up here where the doorway is going to be, where the road goes out, it's 8-inch block. Now, all of these blocks will be filled completely with concrete. It's not code, don't have to necessarily. There's probably other ways of tying them all in and stuff, I'm sure. I've seen all kinds of stuff on YouTube, but in this county, I forget the actual, it's like every 4 feet or something like that. You gotta have rebar and concrete. Well, I'll have the rebar in every 4 feet or probably, but I'm gonna do concrete all the way around. So it'll be a solid concrete wall in that sense. So that's what's been taking up a lot of our time, was getting that first row really right and spot on. Won't be long. We really, the grass is ready to be cut for hay in a sense, but we're waiting on some good hot days to mow the hay, because yeah, and with fuel costs going up, I don't know how much hay I'll be baling this year. I only need 360 some bales to do what my dad's got a couple of. I mean, I got a lot more hay than that here, but I don't have any place to put it or any need for it at the very moment. So we was going to try to fence the place off before we got started on the house and get a couple cows, but it's too much running back and forth for me to try to keep up with the cows when I'm living as far away as I am. And I don't want them getting out and aggravating my neighbors. So, yeah. we're just going to cut just enough for that, and then I'll probably let the rest of it grow and just bush hog. Seems like a waste of fuel just to bush hog it, but if I can get it knocked down about 2 or 3 times this year, then I'll be all right. That being said, we got our post in. We're putting a 100 amp temporary power service here. They're going to bury line all the way up to the road. It's a little right at 1,000 feet, I think, a little over maybe to the road. They said they was going to bury it and put it in, no cost as of the moment. So I got it already flagged. Guy came, he said he didn't see any reason. I guess because it's a straight shot basically. I mean, there's a curve in it, but there's no trees or nothing, so there's not a whole lot of interference with the digging. So they're going to do that. But yeah, I've just been on the phone with a bunch of different people and trying to get everything organized. Our baler still has to have the chain put on, so we may end up doing that one day evening or something. But we're trying to get these blocks laid in, and then just kind of keeping an eye on all the materials and costs of things. I'm hoping costs will come down. I guess you'd say I'm hopeful, but I'm not holding my breath. I think they will, but it may be one of those things, even if the cost of them comes down, the availability of them may not be there. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll just have to wait and see what time comes for certain materials. Biggest one that is probably going to be after the block, because I mean the block's pretty much, we got it. After the block is going to be the trusses, the floor trusses, and possibly roof trusses. The reason I'm going with the engineered floor trusses and roof trusses, 2 reasons. One is speed of getting them all put up, because you know getting it in the dry is super important. It gets it in the dry and all the wood in the dry quicker. But 2, and the number really main one, is I want to open span. I don't want to have a bunch of piers and girders running down the middle of this basement. I want it all open and easy to maneuver in there. I don't want to have to work around stuff. And that's the same way I want it up in the house. I want everything free, open span, to where when we put up a wall, it's a wall that's there. It's not a support wall or nothing like that. You can maneuver and move walls different places. So it gives you a lot more range when it comes to that stuff. Another one that's doesn't really matter, but it does make it a little faster, is when they come and inspect engineered trusses, pre-engineered I guess you'd say, it's fast. I mean, they look at it, they say, oh yeah, engineered trusses. That's all they got to see. They don't even study anything more about it. Like, you know, I mean, that's pretty much kind of a quick, easy pass on that particular part. They don't have to make sure that you got the right thickness girder, the right span going on, length, and all that stuff. So, it just makes it faster for the inspection part. I'm sorry if I'm a little shaky on the camera. I'm having to hold it kind of odd. I don't have my little tripod thing. But I just wanted to give you guys an update as to why I haven't been sawing much. The mill hasn't even been fired up in probably a couple weeks now. I got some plans on the band mill when I get back into it, when this gets to a point that we're close to done. That I want to do. I'm actually thinking about putting the band mill and the circle mill kind of together in a sense. I'll explain that another time on a later video. I want to thank everybody that has joined the channel, that's new, that's watching the videos, that's you know, looking over what ideas I've had. Keep in mind, if you're watching this video and you're trying to watch past videos and stuff, if you make it to this video or whatever, I have changed my mind on some of the things I've done in those past videos, especially when it comes to the sawmill. I've tried it, it works or it didn't work. and I've changed my mind and I'm going a different direction. A lot of it is experiment to see what I like and what works for me. Uh, One of those things I've not done it yet, but I'm real tempted when I get into sawing more. I may take the hydraulics off. The concept is right. The pump could probably be upgraded to a little bigger, lower RPM pump, because I think that one needs a lot more RPMs than what it's pushing out by a long shot. But that ain't even the reason. My problem with the hydraulics is, just like freaking Jeep actually told me that would probably happen on his, that he didn't like hydraulics for the very same reason. Um, you can't feel it. You don't know where it's at. You're a little more. You gotta just ease into it a little too much. It's too sensitive in that sense. I did like the belts on that part. Now when I do go back, if I go back to belts, I will be buying and spending the money on the actual sawmill belts. There's a place close to here that sells them. They're kind of high, but I can get them. The actual fabric, I guess they are Kevlar, whatever, belts that allow a little more slippage. I had rubber belts. They were old belting out of a round baler. They don't work good because they want to start crawling, and they start catching too quick. They don't catch with tension. They was catching and actually moving my carriage on its own. So I think that was a big problem I was having. That was aggravating me, and really I could have just bought belts and fixed it. But I thought I wanted hydraulics, and don't get me wrong, the hydraulic pump and everything I'm going to keep, and the motor, because I got a couple other ideas that I can use it for. So it's not a big deal. I know those are parts that I can use in multitudes of places. I like to say, I mean, it wasn't no big deal. There's a little money spent to try it, but I learned what I don't like about it. Now, I'm not saying some of your big, full-blown hydraulic mills ain't fine, but I just don't like how you can't feel it. You don't know, because with that 671 on there, you can eat through some stuff, but if you can't feel it in the pull, you don't even know when it's starting to get a little tension on or anything. It just pulls it through, and you mess up blades, crowd it, and everything else when you're running a little dull. So I'm not as big a fan of it as I was when I started. I was excited about it, possibly going away from it. That being said, it does work. I mean, if anybody says, oh, it will not work, no, it works. It works fine. I mean, I got the speed up, changed the cogs around, the sprockets around, got the speed up just fine. The speed is a little slower than I'd like on the return, but not by much. I mean, it's comfortable. But going through the mill, I mean, all that speed and stuff, it's fine. I ain't got no problem with the speed. Speed worked out good. My biggest problem is, like I say, you just can't feel it. It's a little too sensitive. So, anyway, that being said, I've said all that to say I really appreciate the comments. Keep watching. Keep subscribing. I'll get there. This is a slow process. This house, and with the material the way it is, the cost of stuff, and finding the stuff, if everything keeps going the way it is, who knows when it'll be done and how I end up doing it. I haven't even decided 100% yet if I'm going to saw conventional lumber or if I'm going to saw timber frame, or if she don't really like timber frame, I do. Or if we're going to do a log cabin yet. But we got the foundation. We didn't have to have a lot of, approvals or nothing like that. That's the reason I can change my mind as much as I want. Because as of right now, I mean, as long as the footprint stays the same and the number of bedrooms stay the same, the county don't care. Only if I change my mind on certain things. The footprint, I think the heated square foot, which all that's going to stay the same. It's just what kind of material I'll build it out of. I got to jump through a couple extra hoops to do the log cabin, the true log home. I got to get some energy efficiency paperwork. found a company that'll do that. That's really not a big deal. I send them a pretty detailed plan of my walls and size, and they'll make it out. And they said it wouldn't be no problem. So I don't know, back and forth on it. But anyway, I'm gonna jump off here. Probably mix up some mud for the block, cement, whatever you want to call it, and probably start laying some block. I will not be showing a whole lot of the actual laying process because, you know, it's just everybody does it different, and we are not experts at it. This is not something we've ever done for a living. Dad, he's done a lot more of it than I have by a long shot, so I don't need people criticizing how we doing it one way or another, just to be honest. It works. There's several basements that Dad has done that when it's done, it's perfect, it's right on, it's beautiful, but there's a lot of people that lay it different and say we're slow or whatever. So yeah, I won't be doing that. There's a lot of people out there way faster. I'm not no race. But like I say, I'm gonna get some work started and hopefully get something done. But I'll take y'all through stages as we go, and there'll be certain things that we show you. You know, maybe things that you didn't know that maybe we found out on the hard way or something. But other than that, I'm gonna let you guys go. Just wanted to give you an update. I was going to make it a quick one. Never ends up that way. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And just try to survive out there right now. See you guys.